Are you kidding me? How in the hell am I supposed to pronounce this name? Trigui? Trigui? You know what? We're gonna call you Mr. T. And I pity the fool who has to pronounce this name.
Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel presents.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Banner Saga 2 here on Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel with me, your host Max. On this episode, we will continue the amazing story that we were able to follow thanks to the first title. Now, I'm actually really interested to see if the choices that I have used up in the previous title will carry over into this one. We have the option to watch a recap, so I'm actually really interested. Especially due to the fact that on the front screen here, we can see Ivor, we can see one of the Varl who was in... Oh my god, what was the name of the besieged town? I'm gonna probably mispronounce a lot of names, so... Borgsgard, was it? Yeah. So anyhow, I'm really interested to see if the choices will carry over. Here in the back, we can see Juno. I'm quite sure that this will be a new protagonist too, and it looks like a brand new class of potential soldiers can be presented in the form of the centaurs. So I am really interested to see how the story will continue. Now, before I actually do that, I would like to give a special shout out to the OBS Discord support. I was running into a lot of issues while trying to get this recording to work, and I have tried everything from the wiki pages to God knows what else, and the amazing volunteers at the Discord server were polite and nice enough to help me out. So I would like to give a special shout out to one of the individuals who gave me the help I requested. And also, if you will ever come across the issues with your OBS recordings, please make sure to follow all the wikis. Make sure you provide adequate information, not say that OBS is showing black screen. That's not gonna help anyone, especially if 50 people spam this. And most of all, be polite to the people who are trying to help you, because they are volunteers and they are not getting paid for this. So please make sure to follow the Discord rules of OBS. So thank you very much for the help. We're gonna start off Banner Saga 2 here, and hopefully I will be able to pronounce the names correctly this time, especially since I have the new mic and everything. So wish me luck. Let's take a look at the recap. Hopefully there will be a narrator this time so that I don't have to read a whole lot of names. And we will see how this will turn out.
When the sun stopped in the sky, life continued as normal. Then the stone-armored dredge reappeared, ancient foes from the far northern reaches, and the world was thrown into chaos. Giant Varl defenders were slaughtered, their strongholds destroyed. Now Hakon is the Varl king and protects who is left of his race. Rook, a humble hunter and father of Alet, found himself leading frightened clansmen towards safety. His caravan crossed paths with Juno and Eyvind, two of the mysterious spellweavers known as Menders, who know something about the massive mountain-breaking serpent on the loose. In Borsgard, a town under the protection of the mercenary leader Bolverk, both Varl and humans stood against a dread general, the immortal Sunder, known as Bellower. Juno devised a way to stop Bellower, but it cost the life of one held dear. The saga continues.
Okay, so it's actually interesting, but the game did not specifically directly take in the choices from my previous game. If you were able to watch the first or the last episode of Banner Saga, what you might have found out is that I have chosen Alette to hold the silver arrow that has been used to help take down Bellower. Therefore, I don't think we can actually take Alette. So I'm gonna take Rook in order to continue the story from the first Banner Saga, at least closest to the original playthrough. I do wonder if the choices I made would make such a dramatic difference that we would see a different outcome, but we're gonna choose Rook, and we will see how that will affect this playthrough. Rook. Overcome with grief from the death of his daughter at the Battle of Borgsgard, Rook, a skilled hunter and proven leader, wonders why anyone would still follow his lead. With the help of a lifelong friend, the giant Varl Ivar, perhaps he can change the tragic pattern of losing those who depend on him and ensure the caravan's safety on the long journey to the human capital, Arbrang. What would be the choice for Alette? Since the tragic events in Borgsgard, the families of the caravan look to Alette, daughter of Rook, the former leader, to guide them. Through her compassion for others and ability with bow have impressed all but the most stubborn clan leaders. Calling on her personal resolve and lifetime friendship with the archer Odif and the massive Varl Ivar, Alette must continue her father's work. Okay, so we're gonna choose Rook because a big spoiler also, warning, I'm gonna probably have to put that on the start of the episode too. So hopefully I won't screw up the editing of this video. And I chose to give the silver arrow to Alette. She has used it, and one of the images from the preview of the first Banner Saga showed actually that Bellower was holding someone with a silver arrow stuck in his chest, and that person was Alette, so she unfortunately is no longer with us. So let us continue with Rook.
Tíminn líður áfram, eins og straumþung á sem fleytir okkur áfram. Time continues washing over us, moment after moment, like waves on a coast. Some more fierce, more violent than others. So few of my kind, the giant war, remain alive. Even so, I find myself wondering if humans, while able to bear children, suffer more for the loss of loved ones. Several weeks have passed since we slew the Sunder known as Bellower, but the chaos of the world did not wither as we hoped. The world is breaking. We sail aboard hastily crafted ships for the safety of Arbrang, the human capital. But the river curses us with a clear view of the dreads, assaulting another hopeless village.
straight up, we start off with battle. Interesting. Okay, so if you recall ever playing the first Banner Saga, the ranged dredge units were able to cast these glowing rocks, which basically explode. And this dude is kind of surrounded a lot. Okay, so they are actually doing way better than I would do in this engagement already. So one thing which I want to take a look at are the stats. This is a function which was available in the previous game, and it's gonna cause a few issues. So the combat is turn-based tactics. So we're gonna be able to use Ivor and eventually Hakon to move around. And for that, we are gonna use mouse. So if you're gonna hear a lot of clicking, I do kind of apologize for that. Okay, so some heroes feel more tells than the others. We still have the will points, so that seems to be the same. So let's see what will happen. Are capable of moving forward, and therefore Ivor should be able to kill the dredge. We have to take a look at two stats. So we are dealing with the armor and we are dealing with the strength. As you can see, thanks to the Varl being bigger than humans, they can dish out theoretically more damage. And here we can see that thanks to his low armor stats, the damage dealt by Ivor can be equal to 8 points of strength, which should kill this dredge. And we don't have to use any will points because we're gonna kill him anyhow. Okay, so this one will need to move around. He's gonna use his turn to do this. Okay, so Hakon can theoretically move in here, and this way he's gonna be able to attack the two dredge here. So we can try to use the Sundering Impact, which is one of the abilities. And because we had to move out of the blue range of his movement, he had to use up some of the will points here. We're gonna see how this works. Okay, another dredge has fallen, and it should be now his turn. Aleo, this will be probably a new character, but we're gonna stick to Rook, and we are gonna take down the last remaining dredge. Oh, come on, man. I think he's taking the loss of his daughter way too badly. Oh, wow. And how exactly do you want me to deal with this? You guys kind of realize that these are not your professional walkthroughs, right? I mean, you want one guy to take out... Okay, let's take a look at the overall statistics. So we have 7 points of armor, 10 points of strength. We are surrounded by some big kahunas here. If I don't move somewhere well enough, a lot of these dredge will be able to hit me. So if I were to move here, okay, so a dumb idea. I might have to redo this section, but based on the turn. So we have this dredge who will take his turn. After that, it should be Rook's turn. Then it will be this dredge. Then it should be again Rook. And then it will be one of the two ranged guys. So my idea is to try and move here, hit this dredge, then move away, hit this dredge, and somehow keep making them follow Rook around. I mean, this might be quite the most idiotic thing I'm trying to pull off here, but maybe I'm gonna surprise myself. So let's see if I will be able to get at least somewhat enough far away. Okay, so we definitely know that his turn will be next. So we need to first take down some of the armor in order to be able to damage the strength. But I totally screwed this one up. I should have ran somewhere else. A final blow directed at your head is deflected and giant horns slam into the dredge surrounding you. Ivor pulls you to your feet and away from combat as other fighters from your caravan rush into finish off the enemy. Seriously, you guys have to like tie him down or something, because this is kind of bad. Ivor moves you past the crowd of worried villagers, ensuring you can stand on your own. Ivor, I don't know what you were. He stops speaking as the village chieftain approaches. Aleo, a Varl leader saving a human village from those things. Legends are made of much less. Ivor, no Varl leader, just Ivor. Those things were dredge, like the stories you probably heard as a kid. And it was Rook here who ordered us to stop. Aleo, forgive me. Maybe it's this never-setting sun or dredge or the deaths of so many of my clansmen. I am not myself. The man's eye appraises you and he quickly nods. Aleo, I'm Aleo, the Skald. Were you trying to drive the dredge all the way back north by yourself? Remain silent. I wouldn't stop there. We should get ready to leave. Okay, so, remaining silent is probably rude. I wouldn't stop there. Let's not get too cocky. He just almost got killed. So we should get ready to leave. So soon, but the villagers will want to throw a feast to honor you before you go. Ivor, he means all of us. Your people too. Aleo, but the dredge are gone. We defeated them. Rook, you've got a lot to learn about the dredge. Ivor, we all do. Aleo, that reminds me. We heard rumor the Sunder Bellower was laying waste to Borgsgard. Ivor, more than a rumor, but he's being dealt with. Aleo, by your clan? You're the Sunder Slayers? The term makes Ivor wince and ends Aleo's excitement. But what about the deep shaking in the ground? Only yesterday we felt a rumble like none before. You think we have all the answers? Could be the giant serpent. Could be the giant serpent. A serpent in the sun? Radomir? I'm no holy man, but joking about dead gods feels wrong. Ivor, about as opposite of Radomir as it gets. This one's determined to swallow us all. The Skald looks skeptical. Aleo, killing a Sunder is a big enough tale on its own for now. Rook, Then let's get ready to leave. Hello, not to sound ungrateful, but this place isn't all we have. It's our home. We never should have. Don't be stupid. More dredge are coming. Yeah, let's go with this. Ivor, wanting to defend what's yours isn't stupid. You know that. Rook, I know this village lost fighters today, so they have less of a chance defending themselves tomorrow. Hello, Rook is right. I hope their defeat here today would keep the dredge away. But when voiced, the Skull looks around at the small huts of his village. Borgsgard is the only other place I've seen in my life. This small village is all my family knows. Are things really as tragic as you were making them sound? Probably worse, says Ivor. Alel looks back and forth between you and Ivor before nodding. Packing and tending to our death will take some time, but I have everyone on the ship soon. Alel heads off into the village to organize supplies. Ivor, one of the giants known as Varl, has found dredge in the northern winters, personally killed the Sunder Rays and lost an arm to the Sunder Bellower. He has been by your side through everything, including the death of your daughter. Now you feel the weight of his full attention. Ivor, what you pulled out there, fighting the dredge alone, was that tied to Alette at all? They'll pay for taking her from me. Don't mention her name. I'm trying my best to hold it all together. The villagers could probably use your strength. Yeah, let's go with this. Keep holding it all in and you'll lose it when these people need you most. Alette was my reason for living after Aldous died. I remember, but make this caravan your reason now. There's still plenty for you to do. He walks towards the village, leaving you alone with your thoughts. Chapter 8. From their homes, something. It's actually amazing that the loading screen is so long, but when I'm supposed to read a name like that or title like that for a chapter, no. Okay, so the traveling merchants are surprisingly well stocked. Ubin the old Varl dubbed... What? Scrivener? What? How the hell am I supposed to pronounce this? Says, since Borgsgard, our numbers have grown. People have scavenged for food and eaten it too. Regardless, we'll need plenty of supplies considering our destination. Where can I find the merchants? What kind of supplies? Thank you, Ubin. So, since we are starting brand new, we might play a bit of a dummy and ask Ubin about some information. You can't miss them, he says. A group of tents they call a market. What kind of supplies? Stuff like food and meat for the trip. The merchants have got a few interesting items as well, but folks can't eat those in lean times. You'll have to choose wisely. Even your renown will only stretch so far. Of course, he says. Oh, and almost forgot. There's something ruffling the feathers of the ravens. The mercenaries who followed us from Borgsgard. Chat with their leader, Bulwark, but be careful. He's not like other Varl. So, we will visit a lot of destinations throughout our journey. I'm actually kind of sure of that. If we take a look at the map, if it works like it did in the first ever episode, or the first ever title, or the first Banner Saga. Yeah, I know, shut up. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what we managed to cover in the first title. So, Rook and Olette started somewhere around here in Skrorg, and basically they tried to make their way to Grofheim. This was the capital city of the Varl, but due to the fact that the Dredge were basically forcing their way from north to south, Grofheim fell, and therefore we were later on defending places like the Einatorft and other destinations, and we kept pressing on down. Now, from Skorg, basically the destination was like from here and then down through here, as we had to get to Borgsgard. But Hakon and the other Varl started somewhere around in Strand, and they had to make their own way to Grofheim too. So basically we followed two parties. So maybe on the second Banner Saga, we might try to do the same. Okay, so this is the marketplace. There is one currency which is renown. For renown, we are capable to purchase supplies. There is usually like a limited number to how many supplies the merchants might have, and also there are these sort of antiques or trinkets, which you might call, and basically the trinkets will boost the certain stats of your heroes. However, as you can see, they require a specific number of the renown points to be purchased, and this number, which is displayed here, shows the level at which your heroes need to be in order to equip the trinket and get the additional boost in stats from the item itself. So here I'm gonna go and purchase certain amount of supplies, and now we can take a look at them. So for example, this one would cost us 6 points of renown, would require level 3. This one gives us plus 2 strength resist, plus 1 armor, minus 1 in movement, but require a hero of level 5. The Fang will give us plus 2 BRK. I recall this might be the breaking of the armor, plus 1 movement, and plus 1 armor when resting. Interesting. And this brooch, plus 2 to all talents, plus will per turn. Interesting. But level 7 is required, and yeah, we have only 15 renown points left, so 14 is way too much of a price. And this trinket gives us plus 30% critical chance, plus 2 strength, but minus 2 armor, but I am not even able to afford it, plus I don't even have a hero who possesses such a high level. So Udif was one of the archers who joined us throughout the first episode. So we're gonna talk to her. We're gonna have to talk to the leader of the Ravens. I did rest to improve the morale and the health of our party members. So let's go talk to Udif first, and then we're gonna talk to the Ravens leader. Udif, your former chieftain's widow, is demonstrating fletching an arrow to few people as you approach. Udif, give us a moment, will you? The group walks away as Udif stands and wipes loose feathers from her tunic. I doubt you're here to explain your actions with the dredge. Do I need to? It was nothing. I just miss Alex. I can only imagine. She watches you in silence, not pressing you to continue. Eventually, she changes the subject. I wanted to discuss the clansmen. They're good at scavenging for food while we travel, but we could always use more fighters. But training them takes time. I'm not sure we have much of that to spare, says Rook. Adif, then you'll just have to find a balance that works. We're okay for now, but who knows how our needs will change. Rook, I see. Thank you. You turn to leave, but Adif places a hand on your shoulder. We should talk, Rook, at some point. Talk about what? Says Rook. Adif, you. Not you, the leader, but the man I knew from Squark. She gives you a faint smile and returns to fletching. At least she knows we are hurting, and let's go talk to the Varl. Okay, so here we actually have Juno with Rook. So the Varl mercenary leader Bulwark and rather large female fighter are talking to Juno, a member of the spell-weaving Mender's Council. Bulwark looks annoyed, nothing unusual. Juno, there is no haggling on this. You already accepted the offer in Borgsgard. Bulwark, get this one to do it. Rook, get me to do what? If Juno is surprised by your presence, it doesn't show. She continues to stare straight at the Varl. Juno, Rook is seeing to the survival of his caravan, something I doubt you care to do. Folka, he wouldn't be seeing to anything much longer if he keeps fighting like he did earlier. Say nothing, but I'm still here now. Again, what other task are you talking about? Juno, that determination will see these people safely to Orbrang. But with respect, our discussion stays between us for now. Her look at Bulwark says she expects him to keep it private. Juno, Avon needs my help with healing the wounded, but we should leave soon. See Hakon at the docks when you're ready. Juno leaves without another word. Bulwark, and Volka, one of these days, Claw and Fang get thirsty for Spellweaver's blood. I think he's talking about his, axes? Claw and Fang? His axes, yep. Why did he break his horns? That's also an interesting question. The large axe heads are polished, the blades sharp, and the cheeks scarred from plenty of use, but it's the gray handle that stands out. They're unlike anything you've seen before. Bulwark, how long are you going to let Juno tell you what to do? You avoid his goading. Rook, only to Orbrang. Then it's King Maynolf's job. Bulwark, like he's got the answer to any of this. He'd royally piss himself if he ever saw a dredge. The pigtail fighter laughs. Rook, have we met? I'm Folka, a shield maiden in charge of keeping the ravens alive. Bulwark gives her a stern look, but she doesn't back down. I already know who you are, chieftain. I heard there's a problem. Should I know about it? Do you have a better idea than Orbrang? Let's go with the first option, see what will happen. The Varl seems to grow taller and more wild as he takes a step towards you. You stopping to save every fallen idiot along the river will get us all killed. Polka, makes more sense to only stop the ships when we need supplies. Bulwark, and get rid of half these useless people too. They're slowing us down. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Don't tell me what to do with my people. The river dictates our speed on the ships. I will if they don't start pulling their own weight. Yeah, probably one of these two options, which might anger the Varl, but I don't care. We're not leaving people behind. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. Humans, you're all the same. You think you have it all figured out in your short lives. You've got no clue what's going to happen. No more than any of us, says Bulwark. Bulwark snorts and turns his attention to a large sealed card behind him. His beard cloaked back indicates the conversation is over. Well, let's go talk to Hakon and let's find out what he has to tell us. I don't see any notification for him, so probably if we go here, we will find him. The wooden planks of the well-used dock creak as you walk across them. Hakon, a warrior recently acknowledged as king of the world, paces on the docks. Not sure I was made for this, he says as you approach. Commanding in battle is one thing, but deciding how many chickens we need to bring, we're both made harder decisions. I'm just as lost as you are at this. You seem to be handling it just fine. It probably first or the last one, but let's go with the first one. True, Hakon says. Usually I'm following orders and only thinking about where to swing my axe. Now every decision affects the next, he pauses, then laughs deeply. Wagner, my last Kender, would have given me grief about thinking at all. A dark mood washes over him. His death remains a mystery, but I'll figure it out. Let's sail. Let's depart. After lighting the funeral pyre, the last villagers find seats on the rickety longships built of scrap wood scavenged in Borgscar. The ravens find space around a large cart on their black sealed vessel. Oars slowly move all the boats into the river's current. I'm so glad to see that the creators did not decide to spend any freaking money on any narration, even this time. So, if you are still watching, I really do hope you are enjoying that sexy voice of mine. Leo looks ill. At least it's not the brackish sea, he whispers to himself as he steps around rowers and baggage to speak with you. I'm not sure we were all built for aquatic voyages, he says. And I hear Arborang is quite a distance away. My people could use a few hours rest on solid ground. We just departed the damn town, dude. Come on. The hopeful looks from others away you and you signal for your ships to make land. Would you mind telling me why the capital is our destination? Aleo asks. Arborang's wall have never been breached. The Volca Juno says the menders there can protect us. It's the furthest place away from the dredge. It just is now help row. I'm not sure what's the correct choice. I'm gonna probably go with Juno. Menders, the skull's shoulders slump. We were all hoping for something more substantial. He realizes even and Juno can hear him. I thank you for your healing my people, but we're talking about an army of dredge. The Volca and her apprentice share a small but say nothing. Dredge, Aleo says, almost in awe. Man and Varl's storied foe from oh so ever long ago, but they're real and here. How have they made it so far south? His glance at the Varl is met with both anger and shame. The longship rocks gently, and the skull grabs a rope to steady himself. If only we had the fabled horse to ride upon. We'd outpace the dredge and be on sound footing. His dramatized misery is almost as amusing as his tanks when he steps back onto the land. Are you trying to tell me we immediately stopped after we left the first village? I mean, come on, man. Okay, so this is the map. We can explore it by dragging. The location of your caravan is indicated here by Rook's icon. The caravan recently embarked from Aleo's village and it's traveling westward down Ormsut River. Okay, so this is... So prior to arriving to Aleo's village, the caravan had hurriedly embarked from Borgsgard in the wake of the devastating siege laid by Bellower and his armies. Click on Borgsgard to find out more about it. Borgsgard, an aging and senile mess of a city that can't remember whenever it wants to sell you something or steal everything you've got. While Ormstor grew early into an important hub of trade, its twin city Borgsgard became the place to buy things nobody else was willing to hawk. It's greatly supported by the potent items harvested in Reykjavik and Tistel, and plunged by huge disparities between the extremely rich and the suffering poor. And our destination is Arbrang, and I'm quite sure that for some reason we just might not be able to follow this river all the way down here into the Fiska Bay and make our way to Arbrang. So we might have to go through some of the other places, but who knows. So the caravan is attempting to reach Ormstor by river on the way to Arbrang. Click on this destination. As Strom led some of the first men east, Ormstor was one of the most important places they settled. Nestled in the crook where the Ormsa River spills, if Borgsgard and Ormstor were twins, this is a horrible name, would be the righteous brother trying to keep his evil twin from hurting everyone else. Oh, cool. Reaching Arbrang, the human capital, is the ultimate goal of the caravan. It is hoped that the walls of the ancient city will provide safety against the deepening catastrophe. Arbrang, from humble beginnings to the eventual seat of power for the king, Arbrang is the most populated and condensed city throughout the human lands. Its towering obsidian walls have been pulled from the depths by the weaving power of the Menders, as each new generation of residents builds another rank of walls. The city continues to grow larger, more indulgent, and more dangerous. Yeah, not really sure I really want to reach that place, but okay. The world map is covered with many locations and holds much more. You can explore the map at any time clicking on its location, yada yada yada. Okay, let us return. How the heck do I exit the map? Honestly, I can tell you right now that throughout the playthrough of the first Banner Saga, I never read what's on the entire map. So I cannot tell you that there are some differences. Okay, but just keep in mind that with how many names we are interacting with and the fact that I have to read all of this, it's gonna be a little difficult, okay? So just bear with me. So this basically explains the morale, the supplies, how many numbers of Varl, fighters, clansmen do we have, when we can camp. Are we seriously camping 15 minutes after we left the original village? Oh man, that's so awesome. And because we are camping and we did not reach a town, there is no market for us to purchase more supplies. Since I also do not see anyone being injured, I don't see the option or the reason to rest, because this will cut into our supplies. The morale is doing fine for now, and there seems to be a person who would like to talk to us. A strangely familiar man with a spear and tattoos beckons to you. His movements are somewhat odd, almost comical. Are you kidding me? How in the hell am I supposed to pronounce this name? Trigui? Trigui? You know what? We're gonna call you Mr. T. And I pity the fool who has to pronounce this name. You wouldn't be confused by Mr. T's presence if you supported his journey long ago. What? The man's eyes glaze over for a moment before clearing. He now acts like your old friends. I've lost it. Lost what? My desire to keep going. The same as you. I still want to keep going. I understand, but we have to keep moving, so you're staying here? I still want to keep going. Lie. You lost someone special and now feel lost. I once lost a dog? Don't compare my daughter to your dog, says Rook. Mr. T starts laughing maniacally as though you've told some great joke. Not your daughter. You're the dog we all miss. He laughs some more and wipes his eyes. Mr. T starts singing while walking away. Yellow and blue will lie to you, lie to you, lie to you. Still better lyrics than Vanilla Ice, but okay. Let's rest up. We have great morale. You can take a look at the roster of heroes. I do wonder how many of them have been transferred from the previous game, and also what trinkets were transferred to. Okay, so interesting. Truly interesting. What do you have equipped, my dear friend? So you have... Okay. You have to kill one more person. Plus 10% critical chance. Okay, that's pretty decent. So Gunnulf, Morg, and many more are from the previous game. Luden, Krumer, Hogan, Mogun. A Gale, I think actually a Gale died in my playthrough, but... Okay. Interesting. We have the option to theoretically try and promote Rook, but these promotions are gonna cost an arm and a leg when it comes to the overall renown points. So I'm gonna probably have to hold on to the promotions for now. We're gonna at least try to equip some form of a trinket. Level 5 Hunter. What does this thing do? Plus 3 strength. Plus 1 armor per turn. Plus 1 movement. 10% dodge. Strength. Plus 2 armor per rest. Okay, we can give you the gloves. I still hate the way I have to equip stuff to my heroes, but okay. We're gonna skip the promotion and we're gonna try to give you at least something. Or you know what, actually I'm thinking... Let's switch. Let's give a Varl more strength because he is the powerhouse. And let's give 1 armor per turn to our ranged attacker. Mr. T has his trinket. Morg, he is quite the powerhouse too. It was actually the Varl with whom I was able to deal the killing blow to Bellower in the first game. Plus 2 armor while resting. Not sure, why the heck not. A thief can use something too, but for an archer... Let's go with some dodge, just in case she would be attacked by a ranged attacker. And let us proceed. And if I'm gonna see a town just right over there after we did a camping here, I'm gonna get kind of angry. Shouted orders turn several ships towards the bank. You have no choice but to call all the other vessels to a halt as well. By the time you land, a crowd has gathered by the water. God damn it again? Who's this guy? A man in fine clothes and missing hands stands in the center of the others. He smirks as you approach. Ruga. And here he is, the faint self-proclaimed ruler of us all. Rug. Are you the reason for this delay? Ruga. I don't answer questions from backwater scum, no matter how high they're risen in the pond. No, stop asking, get back on the boats. Handle this quickly with force. Let's go with the less violent option. You don't know who you're talking to, do you? Rook, you might not remember when we first arrived in Borgsgard, but I went with Bolverk to speak with the governor. What's your point? Well, this is Ruga, the governor. Ludin, the entitled prince of Arbrang who joined you in Einatopt, steps forward from the gathering crowd. Ludin, the former governor of what was Borgsgard, actually. Careful, prince. Rivers are dangerous, especially this far from your papa's side, says Ruga. The threat causes a few gasps from the clansmen. Ludin's bodyguards, the usually quiet Vara Barsi, grows but is weaved off by the young prince, Ruga. The Mender and I were just discussing Rug's banner. It'll make a nice addition to Borgsgard. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Fine, I don't really care, doesn't Prince Ludin prank you? Yeah, that's not going to happen. These aren't the rules of the woods anymore, Rook. You're amongst men now. Try to act like one. Ludin, if anything, Rook's banner would join Arbrang's. Or are you claiming control over the entire kingdom too? Ruga, I'm just trying to guide my vulnerable prince home with some dignity and proper leadership. Even, but it was Rook who led the fight against Bellower while you hid in the Great Hall, Governor. Ruga, overseeing a besieged town isn't hiding, Mender. Just in fighting in a battle isn't necessarily leading. But Rook kept us alive across the frozen waste. He did, cries a man. Saved us at Einatoft, too, a woman adds. Others join in, listing your deeds and cheering your name. Then it's settled. No more delays. Rook is our official guide to Arbrang, but will consult with me on major decisions, says Ludin. Everyone just get back on the boats. Yes, return to the ships. The helmeted guards next to Ruga makes a gesture for only the governor to see. Ruga laughs at the crowd as the crowd disperses. Ruga, Prince, your guide has a lot to learn before Arbrang. Please don't let me fight this idiot. Okay, we have lost additional supplies thanks to all of this stuff. The driftwood has collected, creating an impressive barrier for the longships. Alternatively, going ashore has its own risk from whatever might be lurking in the trees. Row hard will break through. Bank the ships and set all axemen to chopping. Prepare for portage. We'll carry the ships around. Oh, come on! Let's go with the second option. Once on land, you, Ivor, and everyone else with an axe start hacking away the wood blockage. Thudding sounds fill the air. Moments later, Ruga says, Damn, we've got company. As Dredge approach from the woods, you realize others will have to hold them off until you have cleared the driftwood. You are about to enter battle. If you find the battle is too challenging or difficult, if you will find yourself needing a tougher challenge, you can modify the difficulty setting. Don't worry, you can change the difficulty of battles at any time before the battle begins. To access the difficulty settings, open the options menu. Yeah, we're gonna keep it at the current level. I don't even know what it is, to be perfectly honest. Here's the fun thing, however. I want to make sure that we are gonna be able to hold our own. We have 2 Varl. I'm not really sure how will this person perform because he has the spear. We have theoretically a healer slash attacker, an event, and Nit and a Div can serve as archers. Also, it's actually beneficial for you to try and level up as many of your party members as possible throughout the journey. This way, if you come to it, you might be able to equip better trinkets or just be potentially capable of dealing more damage and so on and so on. So we're gonna try to equip whatever trinket we have left here. Yeah, I don't think I really want to equip any of these 2 right now. You know what, actually this is not the worst trinket, despite it only requiring level 1. It's gonna boost all our stats by 1. Okay, let's see how do I deal with Dredge after a longer time. And I still cannot believe all these loading screens have remained in this game. So, the battlefield is truly interesting. The Dredge seems to be more in the back. We have 1 ranged Dredge, we have 3 of the smaller ones, and 2 of the bigger ones. This one, especially with the shield, is dangerous. And this one with this weird shaped sword can actually use it to vibrate and call in reinforcements. So we're gonna have to make sure we take care of them. Now, here at the start of the game, we are actually capable of choosing who is gonna be placed where. We should make sure that our archers can support our Varl. And I'm not really sure what are the odds of fighting here. Let's keep a Div here. I'm actually thinking that this might be an obstruction. And you can remain in back here. Now I'm gonna actually have multiple choices to do here. We have some stats for each person individually. We can check whose turn will it be. But I'm gonna rest here and let the Dredge come in closer. Because if I do so, then what might happen is that we will save up some points, and also our ranged attackers might be capable of dealing some damage here. Let's take down some of the armor. If I would theoretically move one of the Varl forward, like Krumer, he should be able to deal damage to this Dredge over here, and also theoretically to block off more Dredge to get closer. That's 1 shot, 1 kill. I'm not sure if she can attack at this range. I'm gonna move her over here. Fortunately, still out of range. We're gonna move our spearman to defend the archer. I'm gonna try to somehow support Krumer, because he's gonna take a whole lot of damage here if we're not careful enough. Unfortunately, a Div is unable to attack. Okay, so can you use your abilities? So you still possess Ment. Ment is an ability which restores the armor. And the Arc Lightning is a ability which is actually a ranged attack dealing talent. Okay. See what you did there. Let's deal some massive damage to the armor. And because the Varl have such a power, usually what might happen is that even the dredge standing next to the ones that we are attacking might get damaged by the attack. Gonna remove the armor here. Okay, that did not exactly work, I believe, how he intended it to. But this stretch is almost dead. These ones are all surrounding Krumer. So we're gonna have to make our way somehow around in order to support him. Because he is not gonna be able to last any longer here. 11 points of damage. Killing almost the entire dredge. We can move even over here and kill this dredge so that he won't attack the thief. Unfortunately, Krumer is down, and that is bad due to a few things. So he's gonna be definitely injured, which is gonna cause few issues. On the next battle, what we might see happen is that basically he will be injured, therefore his stats will be decreased. We definitely need to move the thief away. Okay, he's throwing those explosive stones. We're gonna have to move also our Varl away, or this can end badly for us. Not really sure what's the range around the rock, but I'm gonna try to clear out at least the surrounding 8 tiles. Let's kill the dredge. Unfortunately, he did not have his turn before the rocks exploded. Can you use your ability theoretically to try and impale the dredge? Okay, so that has definitely helped us out. Now we should be able to attack the ranged dredge. Whenever you attack the ranged dredge, they will always change position afterwards. We're gonna keep on attacking the big boy over here, because he can theoretically one-shot one of our archers. But he has decided to do a fairly stupid thing. Let's keep taking down his stats. So he is almost dead. Gonna move over here, and we are gonna try to impale this dredge, which is gonna drain a lot of his stats. And thanks to the fact that he was left with 1 power, or he was unable to kill Mr. T. And here we need to finish off the last dredge. Beautiful. You hear the axeman cheers as the blockade of woods breaks up and disappears down the river. But the dredge have regrouped. One of them looks especially menacing. The fighters around you are tired but could buy everyone else enough time to safely board the ships. Continue to stand the ground with those around you. Oh man. I'm not really sure how many dredge will populate this playing field. We have lost one of our Varl, so I'm gonna probably try to get to the ships. You and your fighters turn and run, leaping for the long ships at the river's edge. Slinger's rocks knock against shields and a few helmets, but the ships move away. Everyone is safe until a glowing rock lands on the bow of a rear ship. The explosion kills a few, the river kills the rest. Yeah, I wasn't really sure how many more we would get. Also, Krumer was promoted, but he will also be injured, and probably so will Mr. T. I really need to learn how to pronounce his name. Yeah, so we have definitely... Krumer was definitely injured. 9 points of renown, so we'll be able to purchase either another trinket or more supplies. Ivor, we might make it down this river to the capital without any more trouble. You look at Ivor, surprised by his optimism, and I might sprout wings and start flying. Would that make up for your missing arm, says Rook. Hey, I get to make jokes about losing my arm, not you. I suppose that's fair. So, what are you worried about now? Ivor, I think you should make use of the stringer and his tent that we hauled around everywhere. You'd let fighters in battle before, but there are always more to learn, so let's bank the ships and challenge your skills a bit. Okay, so the training camp is actually a tent where you can keep battling NPCs. And this way you can basically also level up your heroes too. But I think we have covered plenty for the first episode. It's gonna take forever for my laptop to render this, so let's do this. I'm gonna finish off the episode here, and we're gonna start off the next one with the training camp. If you did enjoy the episode, please consider giving it a like. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm, as only videos with most popularity are pushed forward. And since I'm starting or trying to get the channel started, I would really appreciate it. Also, I do all sorts of things, from playthroughs to tips and tricks to discussions to early in-game reviews. So if you like what I do here, consider subscribing to the channel for more fun content. I publish stuff on a weekly basis, so you will always have something to watch. And I realize stuff is not the best word for this, but let's just say I publish at least 5 episodes on a weekly basis, so you will have always something fun to watch. I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you in the comment section or at the next one. Thank you for watching. This has been the Banner Saga 2, and it has been my pleasure. Thank you again to the OBS Discord community for support, and goodbye.